799 votes. I'm sitting here waiting.
Judge Executive Mattingly is waiting for the secret shaker to come shake his hand. Judy, run for your life. So ironically enough, the secret shaker works in your office. Yeah. The secret shaker is Jenny Warren. So Jenny, who are we recognizing this morning? Jenny Glenn. Right there she is. Come on up. So you snagged this amazing romp-inspired gift basket with all sorts of Taste of Owensboro in it. So congratulations.
Thank
there you
so
go.
Much.
That got golf claps. That was everybody's feeling that.
That was good.
We want to thank the folks who are tuning in via radio this morning on WOMI Owensboro. That is 99.1 FM and 1490 AM, and we are kicking 2020 off right with the introduction of some brand new chamber members. So let's do that. We first welcome Behavior Associates. Slide, please. Since 1992. And she's back. No one in the room noticed that, Candace. We're good. Behavior Associates has been providing behavioral and psychological services to children, adolescents, and adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities, autism, and various mental health concerns throughout Kentucky. Their highly trained staff consists of behavior specialists, applied behavior analysts, psychologists, social workers, registered behavior technicians, and person-centered coaches. They provide behavior supports, psychological testing, diagnostics, psychotherapy, mental health counseling, applied behavior analysis, parent-staff education and training for individuals through Medicaid waivers, insurance, and of course, private pay. So please welcome Dr. Maggie Sargent, Dr. Betsy Caldwell, Sarah Roby, Melissa Flaherty, Teresa Mills, and Behavior Associates. Bluegrass Family Allergy is an allergy immunology medical specialty practice started by Dr. Kelly Hagen-Brower in 2015. They're currently located conveniently in the Springs Medical Complex. Dr. Brower strives to bring state-of-the-art care to residents of Owensboro and surrounding counties for food allergies, asthma, immune deficiencies, and seasonal allergies, all with a personalized touch. So please welcome Dr. Kelly Brower with Bluegrass Family Allergy. Carmel Home is a Catholic nonprofit long-term care facility owned and operated by the Carmelite Sisters of the Divine Heart of Jesus. They believe that the elderly person is a unique individual endowed by God with certain gifts, talents, and beliefs that should be maintained during their journey through life and respected by all. They strive to maintain the home as a true home away from home for all their residents. Please welcome joining us today, Jessica Hamilton and Nancy Edge with the Carmel Home. Century Property Management provides the finest services for property owners and potential tenants in the greater Owensboro area. With a vast selection in price, amenities, and location, their tenants have a superlative selection of properties to choose from for their housing needs. For property owners, Century Property Management has the experience and expertise to make your job easier and increase your bottom line. They give you peace of mind by successfully marketing your rentals, screening tenants, maintaining your properties through our network of experienced vendors, and collecting funds on your behalf. So please welcome Lisa Reynolds and Elizabeth Allen with Century Property Management. Cryo Body Creation. There they want to help you achieve your body goals by utilizing the latest non-invasive body shaping technology from Paris. CryoSkin 3.0 treatments apply the science behind the hot-cold Peltier effect, which kills fat cells and increases oxygen supply, which aids in collagen production, resulting in slimmer, toned bodies and the elimination of fine lines and wrinkles. The CryoSkin 3.0 machine offers 3 different treatments, allowing them to work with you to customize a unique plan of action depending on your personal needs. No matter what treatments you choose, your experience with Cryo Body Creation will always be comfortable, timely, and most importantly, effective. So please welcome Robin Boland and Amanda Oser with Cryo Body Creation. Yeah, Mayor Watson just asked if you had any free samples, and I will be honest, as I was reading through that, I thought, being born with the gift of sarcasm and facial expression, I have some problem areas. I'll come see you. Dermatology Center of Owensboro is a medical practice that provides management of skin disorders and skin cancers, as well as an assortment of cosmetic procedures. The practice also coordinates a variety of clinical trials. Dr. Casey Vessels and Dr. Ben Vessels started their practice 5 years ago. They continue to serve a regional patient population, including over 13 counties in Kentucky and Indiana. Their practice is located at the Springs Medical Center on Highway 54. So please welcome both Dr. Vessels with Dermatology Center of Owensboro. Industrial Mold and Machine Company is a machine shop established in 1986 that currently employs 21 highly skilled individuals that make up their engineering, CNC, tooling, and fabrication departments. Their purpose is to design, fabricate, mill, turn, and repair all types of tooling components, such as plastic injection molds, metal stamping dies, jigs, fixtures, and general machine parts for a wide variety of industries. Please welcome Chris Murphy and Dana Brickner with Industrial Mold and Machine. Michael Gross, LLC, is offering consulting services for management systems and process improvements. Mike was previously Executive Vice President of Dicel and is an exemplar global certified lead management consultant for the ISO 9001, 14001, and 45001 standards, and an ASQ certified quality engineer. Okay. He has no idea what that means. It's impressive. I have no idea what it means. He has 30 years of manufacturing experience, including implementing and operating these management systems, along with TS 16949. His services include developing, coaching, training, auditing, pre-assessment, and ongoing support of management systems, and assistance with problem solving, data analysis, and supply chain management. Please welcome Michael J. Gross. And the Owensboro Thoroughbreds, finally, and Owensboro, of course, known for bourbon, bluegrass, and barbecue, and soon it will be known for basketball. Owensboro Thoroughbreds pleased to announce their return to the city for the 2020 season. They invite you to follow them on all their social platforms and their website, owensborobasketball.com. Season kicks off January 30th at the historic Owensboro Sports Center. Please welcome Chris Allison with the Owensboro Thoroughbreds. So at this time, we're going to recognize our elected officials with us. Candace and I have been scanning the crowd. If we miss you, we apologize. We think we got everybody here. So I'll say your names. Please stand and we'll give you a big round of applause at the end. From Congressman Brett Guthrie's office, Mark Lord is with us today. Of course, Mayor Tom Watson here with us. Mayor Pro Tem Larry Maglinger. City Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright. City Commissioner Larry Conder. City Commissioner Jeff Sanford. Davis County Judge Executive Al Mattingly. All three county commissioners are here today. Charlie Caslin, Mike Koger, George Wathen. Former Judge Executive Reed Hare is with us today. Got it. Former County Commissioner Bruce Coonsey is with us today. Sheriff Keith Kane is with us too. Judge Jay Wethington, County Attorney Claude Porter, Jailer Art Maglinger, County Clerk Leslie McCarty, and we have school board members with us today too. From Owensboro Public Schools, we have Dan Griffith, Jeremy Edge, Dr. Jeremy Luckett, and from Davis County Public Schools, we have James Morgan and Dale Stewart. Again, apologies if we missed you. We think we have everybody. A big round of applause for our elected officials. I mentioned Keith Kane. I also want to mention that today is actually Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. This was Excellent. Established back in 2015, as a matter of fact. It's a way to honor and recognize law enforcement officers nationwide, statewide, and of course on the local level. So thank you for what you do. At this time, we are going to recognize our Ambassador of the Month, and we're going to kick off 2020 in style, recognizing from Independence Bank, won this award a few times and deserves it each and every time, Minga Troglin. She was all the way in the back. Get your cardio in, Minga. You got this. Get your cardio in. $50 gift card to the Miller House for you, Ambassador of the Month. And this is pretty awesome, too. We have a really cool announcement to make today involving the Green River Area Community Foundation grant. So the Community Foundation conducted a grant application process to award $20,000 from the James D. Ryan Memorial Fund, which supports charitable organizations right here in Owensboro and Davis County. 4 local nonprofits are going to be announced here today as grant recipients. This year, the Community Foundation Advisory Board is making these grant awards in memory of their first advisory board chair ever, and that was Waitman Taylor. Waitman was one of several community leaders in the early 1990s critical to the establishment of the Community Foundation. Current advisory board wishes to honor and remember Waitman's leadership and dedication to the foundation as well as our community by announcing these 2020 C. Waitman Taylor Capacity Building Grant recipients. 4 nominees, if we have representatives, we ask you to stand. Our first organization today being recognized, the Owensboro Davis County Regional Dental Clinic. Also being recognized today, we have St. Benedict's Homeless Shelter. We have the Green River Asset Building Coalition. And finally, the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum. So congratulations to all our recipients and obviously their dedication to philanthropy and the community. Much appreciated. If you would like to learn more about the Community Foundation, you can contact Executive Director Amy Silvert through the Chamber office. And speaking of the Chamber, it is now time for our January Chamber update. And with that, our President and CEO, Candace Brake.
Good morning, everyone. We have a busy month here at the Chamber. First of all, I would like to recognize a group of high school students who are here with us today. Sophomores throughout our community are here with the Statesmanship Academy, the Wendell Ford Statesmanship Academy. Would you all please stand up, be recognized? Glad to have you all here. The Chamber celebration is on January the 24th, and that is our way of celebrating the businesses and the organizations that make our community great. We have lots of those, and before we talk about our sponsors, I would like to introduce a group of people who have made our community and our Chamber great, and that is our past board members, our past board chairs. All please stand. All the past Chamber board members and the past board chairs. I know where you are, and if you don't stand up, there you go. And I'd also like to recognize former Chamber staff members that are here. I saw Laura Alexander here, and I want to recognize Amy Jackson here, former president. The staff does a lot, so much to make things happen with the board. We thank you all, and thank you for leaving our Chamber in such great shape when you both left to move on to bigger things. Thank you all. So the sponsors for the 2020 Chamber celebration, which by the way, we have around 750 people last year. So if you're not a sponsor and I think the deadline's tomorrow. It's a great event. A lot of fun to celebrate everything going on in our community. Our print sponsors, Greenville Chisholm. Our platinum sponsors are Atmos Energy, BB&T, Contracting, Independence Bank, Kentucky Legend, and UniFirst. We also have the Chamber Award sponsors. The city and county sponsor the YP Award. Wesleyan College and Swedish Match are also award sponsors. These are our gold sponsors. Assured Partners, Big Rivers Electric, sorry Buzz, Boardwalk Pipeline Partners, Canteen, Domtar, Don Moore Automotive, German American Bank, Greater Owensboro Economic Development Corporation, Houchins Insurance Group, Limestone Bank, Lingate Hospitality, The Messenger Inquirer, Metalsa, Tyler, Old National Bank, On Time Fab Incorporated, OCTC, the Owensboro Riverport Authority, Hancock, CPSC, Ruoff Mortgage, Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline, Toyo Tetsu Mid-America, and U.S. Bank. Our silver sponsors are Castle & Steel, Envision Contractors LLC, Kinergy Corp., Thompson Homes Incorporated, and our bronze sponsors are 323 Staffing Solutions, Thacker Hodgkins and Knight LLP, and WKU Owensboro. Thank you to all of our sponsors who are going to make this a great night. We got a great band coming this year. You got to come. And by the way, the winners of the awards will not know until that night, so it's going to be an exciting evening. So our Greater Owensboro community priorities have been announced, and the session is ramping up. Before you leave today, we'll have people at the back door passing out our cards for you. But as you know, this is where the city, the county, the Emcee, and the chamber come together to articulate the needs every session. These needs are done together because with one voice, we're so much more likely to get things moving in our community. And since we started this several years back, we've had great success in reaching our goals and our community goals. Our capital project this year is our new digital center, and our legislative we're focusing on is home rule. And that's where we're telling the state, let us decide how to tax ourselves. Don't tell us how to tax ourselves. We know best, and local government is closest to the people. So give us that flexibility. The transportation projects are starting construction to widen 54 to Jack Hinton, to complete 169 and upgrade the Audubon Parkway to a 169 interstate spur, to extend 69 with right at the end of the Henderson piece, to construct the bridge, and lastly, to extend 165 to the US 60 at Natcher Bridge. So, Hannah and group, I think we have a couple of college students from Owensboro who'll be handing out the cards afterwards. So please pick those cards up so you'll remember we can all be on the same page and keep moving things forward. With that in mind, the West Kentucky Thank You Night will be in Frankfort on Thursday, February 13th, and we'll probably have transportation, I think, going, so we'll be giving more information to our membership pretty soon about us. It's going to be a first come, first serve, so it's going to be a great night, and we'll be showing off what West Kentucky has to offer to the state. Save the date on Farm City Breakfast, Saturday, February the 29th at Davis County High School. And the Athena Award will be on the 27th. February's busy too. The Athena Awards are with Girls Incorporated, and we still have time for sponsorships. That's until tomorrow. You have sponsorship forms on your table. Tish is here, Destiny's here, so if you'd like to complete a form, please do so. This is our way of recognizing women's contributions to our business community and the future of Owensboro. And as you can see from a lot of the women-owned businesses today that we've introduced, we're pulling our weight here in the local economy. So well done, and let's recognize their contributions. Save the date on legislative updates with our delegation. We're going to have those on February 22nd and March the 21st. Those are Saturdays, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And CYP has a lunch meeting next week. And we also have Guys and Ties, their January session at Burns Middle School, where a lot of our male members of CYP will meet with young men and teach them business etiquette. And at the end of the business etiquette session, they exchange ties so the boys can have ties for events that they may have. It's a great thing that CYP does, and we appreciate them. And your lifestyle health plans, as always, we have a great health plan. We're hearing great things from our members about that, so check it out. And call Jacqueline if you're interested. Member of the Week, once again, call Jacqueline if you're interested in this. And this is a free advertising opportunity with around 60 radio spots that you can have. It's come, first serve, and we fill up very quickly. So let her know if you're interested in that membership perk. And the member memo is with Hannah. It's a monthly memo that we have regarding discounts that you have, events, anything that you'd like to promote to the chamber membership. The network meets every Wednesday at Old Hickory Barbecue. And if you look at your place, we've just unveiled our new Owensboro magazine that we do in conjunction with the Messenger Inquirer. We love the cover this year, and we appreciate all the Messenger staff does with us. They're a great partner. They're an extension of our staff. If we have any of the Messenger staff here, would you all please stand, be recognized for your hard work? There they are in the back. Thank you guys so much for everything you've done. They don't care how long it takes, they get it right, and we just appreciate them so much. The Chamber Matters at your desk, I sound like a teacher, boys and girls. The Chamber Matters has your renewals in it, your monthly renewals. If you look through that list, those are people in the community, businesses in the community that are investing in us moving forward. So please look through that and do business with Chamber members first. We have the directory online, and we always do membership referrals. We do several a day, so call our office if you're in the business for something new and you need to know who's a member or not. And John Conti, thank you all so much for everything you do. We love you. And lastly, just on a personal note, I'm assuming that this is going to be the last time that these two fellas are up here together to do the State of the Community. I don't know that, but it might be just an assumption. But just want to say to the community, with 20 years of working with both of them and seeing different administrations move through, we don't know how lucky we are. We may know, but we need to acknowledge how fortunate we are that we have a mayor and a judge that work together. Yes. In the past, we've had contentious relationships, and just want to tell you all how proud we are of the relationship you have together, because we know that makes our community stronger, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you all.
Like Candace mentioned, two guest speakers today. You know them both well, but to give them proper introductions, our board chair, Dave Roberts.
Well, good morning. Before I introduce our first speaker, there was a lot of recognitions this morning. I want to recognize someone as well. Chad, you stand up. So Chad Benefield just shows up month in, month out, brings energy, enthusiasm, his talents, and just want to recognize you this morning for all that you do for our chamber, for all that you do for our community. We're very proud of you. So please join me in recognizing Chad. And Judge, sorry, I'm going to read the full thing. So,
I need more.
The judge executive is the highest elected office in county government. Mattingly was elected in 2010 and sworn into office on January 3rd, 2011. I think this is your 10th state of the county? 11?
Chad, I'm not going to have anything to talk about.
This is the reason I'm reading it right here. In 1971, he married Miss Judy Wolfe. Together they have one son, Will Mattingly. Judge Mattingly, born to Alfred and Connie Marie Mattingly on May 23rd, 1947, is the eldest of 12 siblings. He graduated from Owensboro Catholic High School in 1965 and received his bachelor's degree in biology from Brescia College in 1969. Following graduation, Judge Mattingly served in the United States Army from 1969 until 1972. In 2003 and 2007, Judge Mattingly was elected and served as an Owensboro City Commissioner. In 2007, he served the Owensboro City Commission as Mayor Pro Tem. He has always been active in the community and his church, Our Lady of Lourdes. In addition to being a member of various civic and professional organizations, he is also the president of Acme Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned plumbing, heating, and cooling business. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcome Judge Al Mattingly.
Chad, get that water, please. Sure. Thank you. I am going to be a while. Well, first of all, thank you for being here this morning, and Happy New Year to all of you that I haven't talked to since then. I told Chad and everybody that has been here before me that they have absolutely in my speech. Because typically this is where I introduce everybody, all the constitutional officers. They've already done that. This is where I introduce the First Lady of the county and my son. They've already done that. This is where I try to remember who the past elected officials of the county are. They've already done that. Have the end of this for me? Father Jerry, his opening prayer was excellent, Father Jerry, and I really believe what you said is true, but my ending is very similar to what you began it with. So what in the world are we going to be able to do today? I do want to reintroduce or talk about the county commissioners. Commissioner Charlie Caslin from the Central, George Wathen from the West, Mike Colver from the East. Thank you guys for what you do. Without them, I've said it every year, without them, it would be a very hard job to do because they serve as liaison to all the staff. At the same time, I want all my staff to stand, please. Come on, staff, stand up. That's actually, this is all my staff and a former staff member who failed to shake my hand during the secret shopper thing this morning. Jenny didn't shake my hand. I told her if you were picked out. They do an excellent job. They keep me on the straight and narrow. Nicholas Brake is sitting out there. Nicholas, thank you for shepherding my wife this morning. Your mom told me that you were sitting next to Judy, and I said he can't afford her, so don't even think about it. I always start the speech with the words that the state of the county is good. We have money in the bank. We pay our bills on time. But I'm not going to say that this morning. Usually, and I've wanted to do this for years, usually I stand here and we talk about all the great accomplishments that the county has done, hear what the city has done, and Candace, I absolutely agree with you. Tom, it's been a pleasure serving with you. But you guys get tired of that, right? I get tired of it. As a matter of fact, and I was going to tell them it's my 10th, but who said it was my 10th? Thank you. It's always hard to come up with a topic that is germane to the current moment. And it's always a rush in December trying to get it all written because I write every word of it and I review it and all those kinds of things. So I've got two doors this morning. Behind door number one is that I can stand up here and preach a sermon to you. How many want that? Judy did? You raised your hand, really? Oh, and Candace, by the way, why is it that 4 or 5 of our past CEOs of the chamber are standing against that wall back there? If that wall collapsed into the river, we'd lose a great deal of leadership in this community. Or behind door number 2, I'm going to stand up here, invite the public to ask any question on your mind about any topic that's going on in our community. If you want to throw in some national topics, I'll give you my opinion, but you wouldn't like most of them probably. So, Jacqueline and Jessica. All right. Come on down, Vanna. We've got 2 ladies who are going to be circulating out in the audience this morning, and they are going to hand the microphone. Do I have a taker? And first of all, I would tell you, just to prove it, I have my closing. First of all, I'd like to tell you that Jacob Mulligan did an excellent job on Bold Scholarship in the newspaper several weeks ago. And I have to admit that I've been resisting, pushing, and trying to raise funds for it. And I've talked to the mayor. The mayor and I are going to try to put together an Impact 100, if you would, for men, where we would get the men in this community to write a check for $1,000, and it will go into that Bold Fund that's being administered by Amy Silver and the Green River Foundation. We have given out anywhere from 4 to 6 scholarships every year. Those scholarships go to non-traditional students. They can be used not just for tuition, but for transportation, child care, and all the things that people need help with. It's not hard most of the time for young people out of high school to get a scholarship, but after that first year, drop out of school because it's hard to get money to follow up, or they get married, they have a child, then they don't have any ability to go back to school. And we have a lot of folks who just need that little boost, that little help to look up out of that dark abyss and see the light, and that light could be this community showing the love that we have for them and the need that we have for them. So please, when you are contacted, be bold. All right, where's the first one? Hands up, raise your hand. Who wants to ask a question? Candace, you said you plant. Are you a plant?
No.
You're not a plant?
I refuse to plant.
All right.
I do not plant.
Okay.
Judge Mattingly, thank you for your service. The question I have is, tell us a little bit about your opinion about health, because we know that impacts not only our workforce, but our community, and we know we see a lot of increases in many conditions like diabetes in our community and so forth. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think about the health of Owensboro?
Well, I think it's extremely important. Number one, for me, you're standing and looking at a modern miracle of medicine I have enough titanium in my body that I told Judy to burn me when I die and sell what's left to Dahl and Grotzinger. So, I mean, Owensboro Health, our local hospital, is a wonderful example of why folks supported the building of a new hospital, because without the new hospital, we wouldn't be able to attract the talent that we need in this community to do the things locally that we're leaving this community for. So, in diabetes, one of the leading causes of expense, I just had a sister end up in the hospital. Is that HIPAA related? She's my sister, I'll tell on her anyway. In a diabetic coma, and she's still in the hospital. And we've had friends who have lost limbs because of diabetes, lost their sight. As an employer, when I have someone that's sick for a day or a week or a month, it's expensive. It's not just expensive to Dade County Fiscal Court or to private business. It's expensive to that family. And you always hear the words that most families, a lot of families, are just one healthcare experience away from bankruptcy, and it's quite true. So, I serve on the Davis County Health Department Board, and we take that job very seriously. All right, come on, hurry up.
I have one, Judge, right here.
What? Where? Who?
It's me, Laura.
Laura?
Yes.
Is that you? How's your mom and dad doing?
They're doing wonderful.
Are they on the boat?
You're eating your time.
Oh, I'm eating up my time. Candace said I'm eating in my time. Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to ask, with 2020 being the start of a new decade, what are the top 3 things and priorities that the county's wanting to focus on for the next 10 years?
That is a tough one. And since I'm not going to be here for the next 10 years, I really can't speak. I can just tell you what we're looking at this coming year in particular. Well, of course, a couple things that are ongoing, and Candace just mentioned a couple of them. Transportation is extremely critical. You've heard the mayor talk about Owensboro being on a cul-de-sac. Everybody goes around us to get wherever they're going. If you graph wealth in the Commonwealth, amazing that those strips of wealth follow interstate highways, our major transportation routes. So transportation is extremely important for the community. We'll continue to work on it, and I'm sure the next judge and the judge after that will work on it. Public health is something that we have to be aware of. Workforce development. Now, I know the mayor serves on the KWIB, the Kentucky Workforce Investment Board. I serve local board. I mean, we've got to have people to do the jobs. Right now, I once said that we were starting to look at people that 30 years ago we wouldn't even consider. Now we look at them. We really have. We have to look for the next 10 years at reforming the justice system. We can't continue to send thousands and thousands of people to prison where the only thing that they learn is how to be better criminals. It's the only thing they learn. Can't continue to send them there. Then when they get out after they serve their sentence, we demand even more from them before they're assimilated back into society. How silly is that? And it's an extreme cost for the county. This year will be, jailer, I don't know, $2.3, $2.4 million in additional taxpayer funds to help subsidize the operation of the jail. So there are just a few of them. Economic development, you always see elected officials, that's a great thing to talk about, is economic development, but it's a real thing. How do you have a society that's filled with faith and hope and love, looking forward to the future when mom and daddy are working $10 an hour jobs? How do you do that? It's tough. I'm amazed at how some of the greatest generation, when they came back from the war, do what they did. My mom and dad raised me and 11 brothers and sisters in a 900 square foot home. Before we got there, my dad once wanted to rent a log cabin with a dirt floor out off of Wright's Landing Road. My mama said, my babies aren't going to crawl on a dirt floor. I didn't think it was too bad myself, but anyway, how do we do that in this society? We have a 21st century city. We have a 21st century county. We're running the city and the county with 21st century methods. But we've got to bring our thinking into the 21st century. We can't continue to think the way folks did back in the 20s and the 30s and the 60s and the 80s. We have to understand that this community is a community for everyone to live in, for everyone to thrive. Oh, and by the way, Commissioner Pam Smith, right, everyone to get their mail delivered on time, right? Next one, where are you? Hurry. Yes, ma'am. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got one over here. Is that who I think it is back there? Deanna? No? All right. All right. Olga? Okay. Hey, Jacqueline, get back to the referee in the strike. Oh, by the way, did you guys hear about the Golden Globe Awards the other night? My treasurer told me about this. Did you hear about the stabbing that occurred there? I can't remember the name of the person that got it. She was a really famous actress. Her name was Reese. Who? No, with a knife. Okay, go ahead.
On that note,
Oh, thank you, Joe. Joe, you can call me anytime you need help. Yes, ma'am. How
I
much?
just want to thank, just on the note that you just said about our mail, I want to thank City Commissioner Pam Smith, Judge Executive Al Mattingly for getting our mail delivered today. You guys Pam was on vacation, you have gone to folks' homes to sit down and talk about it, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Okay, go ahead, lady.
So, one was,
I can't understand what you're saying.
are we good?
Yes.
Okay, so anyone that knows me knows that climate change is an issue that I really like to follow. So with that being said, what are we doing as a county and as a city to focus on that?
Well, I got the rest of that. You're talking to a biologist by education, chemist, biology and chemistry. Certainly, I'm interested in global warming, anything that we can do. The first thing I would say to all my friends on the right, all my friends on the left, and all those who are, most of all of you who are in the middle, that climate change is real. You can't stand there and say, you can't look at the data and say, no, climate's not changing. The argument is, so you need to set that aside. Remember, in arguments, there's always 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or however many people involved, those opinions. You set that aside. The climate is changing. What's causing it to change? That's the real issue. Now, last night, Judy and I went to Brady's and we had wings and fries and an adult beverage or 3 or 4. And I think the celery I ate gave me a really upset stomach. I woke up about midnight. And you will never guess, on PBS, there was a story about the ozone layer and the effect that CFCs and HCFCs were having on the ozone, chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons. And if you want to, I'll diagram out how that works. In the 70s, there was an issue. They recognized it and did something about it in the 80s. Now the ozone hole is shrinking over Antarctica, over the Arctic. They think that it will be back to normal by 2065. If we had no ozone in the atmosphere, then you would get a sunburn when you're out in the sun for about 2 minutes. Skin cancer would be exponential. All kinds of farmers would start to have issues with their crops. Now, I'm just saying that to let you know that I do look and study things about climate change. One of the things the county is doing is we run a very efficient landfill, right? And we try to recycle as much out of that landfill as we can. We right now have a have a couple of bids in of taking the methane gas that's created landfill and industrializing it, cleaning it up and sticking it into a pipeline so it's sold instead of being flushed off. We've been replacing lights, and this was before when Judge Hare was there. We've been replacing lights in the courthouse. We've been upgrading things. So we're doing all those kinds of things that we can to make sure that our energy footprint, our consumption is as small as it is. Can't do a lot on the local level. Solar energy, I mean, that's to me, solar and wind is a path, part of a path forward. But I'm going to tell you, if you can't get rid of all the coal-fired plants and the gas-fired plants today and still in the morning get up and turn your light switch and be able to see what you're doing. Next question. Sorry, she's making me do it. Amy, I'm not talking to you. Nope. Nope.
Talk to the crowd then.
Okay. Good morning.
Please give us a status and update on our progress towards non-discrimination.
I don't know. We're waiting. I'm waiting for our gay community to bring an ordinance they feel comfortable with, that they've looked at, that they've developed, and would like for us to move forward with. To me, it's an important issue for this community. There are some who don't believe that we have an issue. The fact that we're talking about it, so many passionate people on both sides, tells me that there's got to be some kind of an issue there. I would hope within the next month that we would have an ordinance delivered. I think Woodford County is about to vote on an ordinance, and I am confident they will be the first county that will have a non-discrimination ordinance. I hear a lot of people talk about we can't, fairness ordinance, non-discrimination. I don't like the word fairness because, as some folks have said, I can't legislate you to be fair. I can't legislate you to not use racial slurs, to not use sexual slurs and those kinds of things. You have freedom of speech. We're not trying to do that. What we're trying to do is legislate non-discrimination. We're trying to legislate equal treatment. I don't believe anybody in this room doesn't believe. Did I say that right? I think everyone believes that we're all created in the image and likeness of God. I mean, if you're Christian, and I don't belittle Muslim religions, Buddhism, all the other religions, but I always hear everybody say we're created equal, and that's not true. Not true. Some of us are created handsome. Some of us, not so much. Some of us are art born. Joe, I'm not looking at you, but some of us aren't. But I absolutely believe that we should all have an equal opportunity at whatever is out there. We should all have an equal opportunity to thrive, to grow. We should all have an equal opportunity for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think we have done that with some minority communities, and I think that's what we're trying to do with our gay community. Next question.
Last question.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. She's cut me off, so what I'm going to ask you guys to do, one-word answers, yes, no, real fast. We're going to do 25 questions in 30 seconds. Hurry up. Stand up and holler it out. Let's go. Is that all? Yes. Richard Brown, my buddy.
I think everybody can hear me. I'm an advocate for civil rights. My question is, the Human Relations Commission was established around 1972. We're graduates of the city, and I'm going far. But the thing of it is that my interest, as a personal interest, is the county and the city having ordinance that would be combined. It would be a city-county election for participation on the board from the county and the city. If there is a possibility for the discussion along those lines, let it be in 2020. Thank you very much.
Richard, you start the discussion. I'm sure that the mayor and I will be amenable to talk. Okay, well, I'm going to close it up. She says that I'm cutting into the mayor's time and people are leaving, so. Here's a question. Here's a final thing, and this I really want you to take home. I really want you to think about. In the opinion section of the Messenger Inquirer on the 6th of January, and I don't know how many people read this, there was an article by the journalist E.J. Dion Jr. And the headline was, "Will we be enemies or fellow citizens?" What I took away was this: when you teach a man to hate and fear his brother, Robert Kennedy said, when you teach that he is a lesser man because of his color or his beliefs or the policies he pursues, when you teach that those who differ from you threaten your freedom or your job or your family, you also learn to confront others, not as fellow citizens, but as enemies, to be met not with cooperation, but with conquest, to be subjugated and mastered. I hate the fact that he had to say those words, but we need to remember those words every day that we get up in this community, in this Commonwealth, and in this nation. Happy New Year.
Thank you for that, Judge. So our next speaker is representing the city portion of this city, state of the city and county. Re-elected in November 2016, Tom Watson is serving his second non-consecutive four-year term as Owensboro's 42nd mayor. A pro-growth conservative, Mayor Watson has been a champion for small business owners, entrepreneurs, artists, Main Street, while ensuring the continued success of the largest employers and staff development. Concurrently with his terms as mayor of Owensboro, Tom Watson continues as a president and co-owner with his wife Barbara of Tom Watson's Prosthetic and Orthotic Labs, with offices in Owensboro and Evansville. Tom entered the field of prosthetics and orthotics in 1972 after a construction accident left him in need of a new prosthesis, but without resources to procure one. Subsequently, Tom studied at Northwestern University Medical School at the Rehabilitation Institute of Chicago and became a board-certified prosthetist, right? Prosthetist. He continues to this day to provide prosthetic care to his many patients. Watson was honored by the American Orthotic and Prosthetic Association as a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellent Prosthetic Care for people with limb loss. Tom Watson has served on multiple local, state, and national boards. As a pastime, he has also spent many years as a paraprofessional football and baseball coach at the local high school and collegiate level. He's a founding member of the newly formed youth football league called KFL as player safety coach, where he was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award for his work with youth sports. He's on the foundation board for the Owensboro Community and Technical College. He recently served on Governor Matt Bevin's transition team for economic development and currently serves on the transition team for Attorney General Daniel Cameron and the Veterans Committee for Prosthetic Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mayor Tom Watson.
Thank you, David. And I just want to know, does UniFirst not make socks? Stick your foot up there. Huh? Well, brother. Well, welcome. And Judge, great job. I don't have the courage to have you all ask me a bunch of questions. So I really appreciate the fact that you went through that. I'd like to first thank my wife, Barbara, because when you elect one of us, guess what? Judy? You get us both. And so funny, we were at some function long ago, and she looked at me and said, "I'm taking one for the team." So there's times when it gets long and arduous, and I love you, and I thank you for you. And I want to thank Adrian. She's put up with me for 18 months, and she's done a great job of putting this little talk together. I'll try and go through this a little faster than normal. I'd like to recognize our city commission again. Please stand. We got Mayor Pro Tem, the boatman, Pam Smith-Wright, Larry Conder, and Jeff Sanford. As Judge said, when I got here at the beginning of this second term, he said they had money in the bank and they were paying their bills. Guess what? We got money in the bank and we are paying our bills. So that's a big deal, and I need to thank all our employees. If they just stand real quickly, because we don't do this, right, Jeff? Our people that work for you every day, they do the work, and they've made this happen. So I want to thank them, make sure everybody understands that. Please stand, it's important. You all done a hell of a job. So me being a financial whiz like I am, because Barbara won't even let me have a checkbook, I'm going to try and go through this, and I'm going to give you what Angela said. When I returned to office, I stood before you here to tell you that things were a little tight, to say the least. Today, I'm proud to stand before you and share how we're doing now. The boost to our general fund was needed, the rising costs of state pensions, et cetera, et cetera. The additional revenue is not only necessary for running the city, but it's a primary reason that we got our Moody's bond rating up where it needs to be, and that's very important for our local government. And Angela put a little quote in here. Angela, Tesla lady, where are you? Right there. Through the lean years, we have learned to do more with less, and that mentality has stuck with us and has become our new norm. So thank you again to our employees. Our next slide is about our occupational business license at 3,154. That includes some renewals. And this last picture is really the staff that leads this financial group. We were awarded another outstanding achievement for excellence in financial reporting. Growth comes attention, accolades which open the doors in Frankfurt and in D.C. Without these relationships, stagnation occurs. I can't overemphasize the importance of building relationships with federal and state officials. And these relationships are not built overnight, let me tell you. You have to start early and stay with it. Access. Every year, the Chamber puts together a great fly-in to D.C. I'm so tired when I get through with that I'm going to sleep for 4 days. But it's unbelievable what Candace and her group do to get us in front of Senator McConnell, in front of Senator Rand Paul, in front of Brett Guthrie and others, Department of Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, and obviously our own Todd Inman. Those people are relationships that our community has built relationships with, and that's what makes things happen on local skin. Just an example of that is $15 million Riverport Road project nearing the end of phase 1. Brian Wright, where are you? This is all about you, BW, wherever you are. And I'm very confident that we'll get this job done on time, under budget, and ready to produce again at the Riverport. The problem is with government, it takes forever to do anything, doesn't it, Judge? This project began, really they've got the preliminary engineering and environmental studies are complete, final design 2020, scheduled for construction in 2022. So that tells you how long it takes to do stuff. Another ongoing project is widening of 54. Has anybody out been on 54 and had traffic problems? That's a good thing and that's a bad thing. But Denitra Henderson has done a tremendous job as Kentucky KYCT District 2 Chief Engineer, and her guidance. She's always accessible, and she's done an absolutely great job of making that the number one project in District 2 in the state of Kentucky. So I want to thank Denitra for sure. Now that's another little thing that's happened in the past, Natural Parkway to 165. But there was a big day not too long ago when the House of Representatives passed a government funding amendment that will designate roughly 40 miles of the Wendell H. Ford Parkway between Ohio County and Hopkins County, and it's going to be I-569. It'll be a big deal for that group, that economic development. It's all about transportation. Just a little slide about what we've accumulated or have on tap, $119 million worth of transportation money. That's what makes this thing go. I share this next slide with you just to let you know how difficult it is to do stuff that's not in Kentucky. Their hearts, they're doing what they need to do, and that's move this road from Huntingburg northeast. They quite honestly had to get the House of Representatives and the Senate in Indiana to agree to do one part so that they could have this part so it wouldn't kind of bisect the state. Project takes a little longer if you'll, and I didn't put this slide up because it's a little bit depressing, but to do that road, sorry, Adrian, do that road, they're talking about completion in 2028. Hell, I won't be driving in 2028. So I'm still concentrating on the part from the Natural Bridge to Huntingburg. It's 25 miles of asphalt, $10 million a mile. Hopefully someday we'll get there. So now a few things more local. The Hall of Fame, Bluegrass Hall of Fame and Bluegrass Music and Hall of Fame Museum drew over 35,000 people in its first year from 47 states, 15 countries, downtown Owensboro. Now, Mark Calitri, that ought to make you and little Kirk feller awful happy. So, but I would really like to recognize Chris Joslin. Is he here today? I didn't hear the banjo going. He is an invaluable intellectual capital that we need here in our community, and he's done a fabulous job. He's always kind. He called me and says, Mary, I got a couple of tickets. You want to come and see these? And I asked him, well, how much twanging is it going to be? And he says, it's a bunch of instrumental. You're going to love it. Barbara and I go, and we've had wonderful success there. It really is a show place, and it's just going to get better and better as time goes on. We had a huge ribbon cutting. You see the thousands of people surrounding us. Because the newest segment of the David C. Atkinson Greenbelt opened last fall. The trail begins in the northeast corner of Dragoo and Kentucky 54 in front of Huck's. It ends at the parking lot off of 603. Another little, there's 4 little things that we think as a community make us better. We put a plaque up for Wayman Morrison at his Wayman Morris Park to serve as a reminder of the connections park and to educate future generations on his contributions to Owensboro. Playground equipment, there you can see really the wide world of sports as somebody standing in front of all those kids. And we replaced all of the equipment at the Chautauqua Park. We opened the first dog park. Last picture on that slide, when a 7-year-old asks you to put a snake around your neck, what are you going to do? You're going to put a snake around your neck. Didn't like it much, but I did it anyway. But that the Joe Ford Nature Center is really a hidden gem, and you need to go out there and check it out. It's pretty cool. We were determined to live up to the 2004 Sports Illustrated title of Kentucky #1 sports town, with the renovations being done at Owensboro Softball Complex at Jack C. Fisher Park, the new pickleball courts at York Park, and many other venues. Owensboro is set to host several tournaments through the next year. And that's my brother-in-law. It's a little self-serving, but Tony has done a heck of a job working on that park all these years. So the renovations at Jack C. Fisher Park, we're going to have synthetic infield, expanding the front and back parking lots, to redesign the ticket entrance, add batting cages. Can you imagine having a ballpark? Oh, batting cages? I couldn't remember that. That's crazy. Warm-up area, rebranding the park, improvements to the 5th field so you can practice. The front parking lots added 6 to 8 additional spaces, and complete revamping of the fields should be finished by, where's Bigfoot? By mid-May. I saw a man that couldn't make it today, so I had to pull you out. So it's going to be a park unlike any other in our community. Again, our people at Public Works have done a fabulous job, as always. It may not sound like much to you, but when we didn't do it for a long time, we filled 2,695 potholes of the 10,550 of them that are in Owensboro. So I thought we made some progress. We paved, you noticed the paving, 7.35 miles of street. The sanitation department collected over 34,000 tons of solid waste. in 2019 and collected over 200 tons of limbs. Our first responders, big part of our team. Guess what? We got a new fire chief, veteran of the fire department, in-house James Howard. He was named our fire chief. The fire department got some grant money, and I never thought I'd see the day when the firefighters had to have proof vests and helmets, but that's coming, and it's there. So we're happy to do that, and I want to thank former Kentucky Homeland Security Chief John Doc Holliday for his help in that. OPD, if I had to list all the stuff those guys did in the last year, we'd be here a while. So like I told Dr. Bragg, you'll have to see the attachments on this one. The Flex team issued hundreds of officers, filed hundreds of drug charges, issued more than 400 arrests, warrants, spent a little under 500 hours selective enforcement in areas known as suspected criminal activity. Violent crime has declined since the Flex team was reestablished. The Owensboro Police Department hosted the Kentucky Association of Police annual training conference at the Convention Center in 2019. This Convention Center, 100 police chiefs and executives from around the Commonwealth spent a week here in Owensboro and downtown. And our own OPD chief, are you awake? Art Elam, please stand. He was sworn in as KAPC president during the conference, and we're very happy for that acknowledgement. Next slide is one I'm sure you all might understand. Guess what? The city takes ownership of Gate Tower. Say anything else? No. Okay. No, there you go. And then the next thing that we're trying to pull off, it's the bridge lighting. Construction on the relighting of the bridge, Bigfoot, scheduled to begin this month and is estimated to completed in 6 to 7 months. Was it $1 million? It's jumped up to almost $2 million. It can give me a little heartburn, but it should be pretty nice once we get it done. So I'm hoping that everybody's going to be excited about that. Thank you. And speaking of the water in the river, let's look this one in on you. Sorry about that, Amy. We had the announcement of our new hydrant fair. It's going to be in August. We thank Jago Holmes for being the lead sponsor on that. It's going to be in August. Please attend. We need this to be successful to keep new events coming to Owensboro. We're approaching 60,000 people in the city of Owensboro. And I believe, as Malcolm Bryant once said, that we're truly building our community one person at a time. Chris Joslin, our new, oops, they left. I don't blame them. They have to make work. That's what we have to do. We have to continue to build it one person at a time. So that, I know that we had a sign out there on Parish Avenue for 25 years. It said 53,250 people. And people would come in to visit me and say, "Damn, Tommy, don't y'all ever grow?" I said, "We're growing now, and it's because of all these things that the county and the chamber and all the people in this community are working together." I want to also always recognize our existing businesses because they are the lifeblood of our community. I want to talk about Owensboro Grain. Helen Mills got that place rocking. Swedish Match just added a $115 million addition. They're in the county, Judge, but I still think it's great for our community. M. Ford got away from that big old tree and came back downtown. Excited about that after 35 years out on Frederica. And Castle Steel is expanding as we speak. They have 171 employees. Business in Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Ohio, Illinois, and Oklahoma. Another key to our economic development, which is what I'm all about, is our colleges and our universities. They're doing a fantastic job. Community College opened 3 innovation boards this year, and I'm on that foundation board. And Mike Rogers, Dr. Williams, if you're here, take a bow. That place is rocking. Of course, Brushy University is building faster than we can keep up with them. To Father Larry and his group, they're doing a wonderful job. Kentucky Wesleyan College just swore in their new president, and if I get it wrong, Mitzel, Dr. Mitzel, is he here today? Hey, did I get it wrong? Close? That's not bad for me. And of course, WKUO always in our mind. We got to have that 2+2 program between the community college and a 4-year degree. Next thing that I thought was a really big deal was that when the local investors bought Town Square Mall. You can imagine that's probably the only piece of property that's got any land around it left in our community. And we are so happy to have that in local hands. They're going to do everything they can to partner with the citizens of Owensboro, local government, chamber, EDC, and all the folks involved to try and make that a happening. The item is for us old guys. This is a big deal too. This Cedarhurst Senior Living Center, they put ground on an $18 million facility out in front of the hospital, and we need senior living centers in the community. And I speak from from experience. It's a big deal, and I've already made my reservation there because I think I'm probably gonna. We moved to Gateway Commons. They actually have 352,207 square footage under the roof, and if you haven't been to the Cinema Grill with 14 screens, 55,000 square feet, 1,600 recliner seats, a gourmet grill, and now they got a full bar. Woohoo! KY added 435 new hotel rooms for the last 5 years. The construction of our third downtown hotel will be an anticipated 100 more additional rooms plus apartments. It's a home to suites. It's a division of Hilton, which means we'll have an increased number of hotel rooms by 555. There you go, CVB, working for you. And then, of course, the enclave's finished, sort of. I call that Manhattan on the Ohio River. The house that Jack built, and it is a showplace and a landmark for our community. Rob Barnett, did you get up? There you go, Marine. Nashville flights will begin January 22nd and will provide the community more destinations, better connectivity, and access to international market. The Essential Air Service provides our community with access to low-cost air transportation that most cities in Kentucky do not offer. Thanks a lot, Rob, and your board. Great job. We appreciate you. And then, not long ago, we had a meeting with Senator McConnell at the Riverport, and where's the sheriff? He's probably, hey, Sheriff. He brought up the issue when everybody was talking about the drug use and addiction, and we were talking about actually opioids, and we do have opioid issues, but not like meth. And so Al, the judge, myself, and the sheriff, we kind of presented a proposal to Senator McConnell in Washington, and we have, is Skylar here this morning? Skylar's, is she? Where is Skylar? Hey, this cat, she's something, I'm telling you. I give her a job, and she calls me back in about 30 minutes and says, okay, now what? So we are proposing some legislation. We're working with Dr. Clark, Sergeant Nichols from the drug unit, Bruce Kegel, Commonwealth Attorney, Todd Porter, County Attorney, and we're going to try and fashion something to make it easier for our law enforcement to process, along with the rocket docket, some of these people that need incarceration or they just need some rehab. It's a difficult deal. Skylar put together a bill, and I've already sent it to Frankfurt, and we're kind of rushing it through because there's going to be, I'd say safely, 1,000 bills put in the hopper in Frankfurt when they get, because it's a biennium. Once again, we got pigs, and I'm telling you, this fiberglass pigs were designed and displayed throughout the city, raising $40,000 for the nonprofits. Daniel Patino Shelter, Bulwer Mission, Puzzle Pieces, Casa of Ohio, Benedict's Homeless Shelter, Owensboro, Davis County, Veterans Association, Owensboro Regional Farmers Market. I need to thank Brooklyn Maple and her team at Specialty Food Group for keeping that project alive. Next thing we got accomplished was proud to be an American. We had one of the most unbelievable few days with the National Guard deployment, 206 Engineering Battalion, 159 men and women deployed to the U.S. Central Command region in the Middle East. God bless these warriors. I want to thank Barbara Porter and Rotary Club, Tommy and Kathy Mullins, the supporters who lined the streets, and the wonderful airport convention center folks who made this happen. Just got an email from Sergeant Hamilton, the kid I coached in middle school football. And the flags, our city flag has already been flown in New Mexico, Texas, Kuwait, Iraq, and Jordan. So thank you all for supporting that project. It was a lot of fun to see them off. And in conjunction with that, our families, we put together a program with Kathy Mullins leading and Adrian and myself, and tried to raise some money for the Gold Star families. And we'll have this monument downtown on the side of the Shelton Memorial. I want to thank the contributors, the taxpayers of the city of Owensboro and Davis County Fiscal Court, the now defunct Downtown Owensboro Group, Owensboro Grain, Public Life Foundation, Atmos Energy, Glenn Funeral Home and Crematorium, Owensboro Rotary Club, and Independence Bank. We raised money faster for this monument than any community has ever raised one for Woody Wilson's Gold Star family. So thank you all as a community. Okay, guess what? It's an election year. So we don't have any primaries. So you have to make up your mind between now and June if you want to run. And then after June, you have to make up your mind who's going to lead your community. And things get a little crazy sometimes in an election year. And I can tell you that so please vote, understand who's running, understand who can lead you. We want to continue to have a representative form of democracy instead of an administrative form of government. So take time and pay attention, follow the Go Vote bunch from the Chamber of Commerce, and let's continue this great community in the right way. And this is my favorite quote: "No limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit." Every elected official should live by that, because that by far will mean that seat doesn't belong to me, it belongs to you. So we're going to try very hard to continue that. Just to let you know, if you want to be mayor, here's a few of the things I did this year. At 315 meetings at City Hall. Those are the ones Adrian knows about. I have an average of 3 hours and 52 minutes on my cell phone screen time, and spend quite a bit of time at home trying to figure things out late into the night. Barbara goes, "Is it ever going to shut off?" And I go, "Well, I don't think so." So there's a lot of work. It's a part-time job. Plus I saw over 215 patients at my 2 offices and on all these boards. So if you want to be mayor, got work to do. There's a lot going on, right, Judge? And if you want to make everybody happy, sell ice cream. I can tell you that right now, because it's an interesting thing. Quickly, I'll go through our downtown project. Last year, I showed you the 3-legged stool. We're still concerned about housing. We have hired a A-plus group, David Johnson and Fred Reeves, to kind of put together a plan. I took a little heat over this. I promise you, we have a couple of ideas from our group that they're going to answer to the commission. The chamber is going to help with their admin work. It's too big a project for our staff to do inside the Beltway. It's very complex, and my top directives have been to figure out how we can enhance, do something with our Owensboro Science Museum. Really love to have an opportunity to park folks in the Grits Garage. Everything else they do, that's fine, but those are my 2 top initiatives. And they will be working close with us and not go off on some tangent. And I trust these 2 guys. I know them. They're Owensboro people. You look at this slide, and it's a jigsaw puzzle. Try and piece property together that one development, property from this part, the property values have escalated. That's the veterans down there at the VFW. And it's a difficult thing, and we quite honestly don't have the staff to do it without really cutting into what we do at City Hall. We were fortunate to break ground on a great big hotel that's going to make CVB just unbelievably successful. We want to thank that group from Home to Suites by Hilton. It's going to be a landmark. 15 stories. It's going to have apartments, condos, and it's going to be the first piece of the puzzle to people to move downtown. Without people downtown, downtowns suffer. So thanks again to Matt and his bunch. It's only going to be $60 million. So the OBKY project, we had some success with that. It took longer than, well, it didn't take longer because it's government. It takes a little longer than, we have the district where you can wander around with your green cup. And I want to thank Pamela for our increased ridership in OTS. Partly due to OTS Supports Education Program, or through a partnership with OTC and Kentucky Westland, college students offered free bus rides with current ID. Transportation, again, is an issue for non-traditional students and students of, that are not non-traditional. The Mayor's Mile, not my mile, all mayors, get that through your head. Barbara named our little pig Miley. So it starts at the River Park Center, takes walkers, joggers, and bikers along a 1 mile journey in downtown. But guess what? There's always more to do. I'm a firm believer that we don't come into this world with a predetermined destiny. Destiny is what you make it. And ask you, do you want to be the 3rd largest city in Kentucky again? I personally think we need to. So I'm going to offer a few, oh, and by the way, here's a little food for thought. Joy is eating mutton sandwiches, I think, wasn't it mutton? Yeah. So, fight Adrian to put this one in there for it, because it is. And anyway, so here's a few ideas that I'd like to share with you quickly. They're comprehensive. It's just food for thought, things that we need to be thinking about as we move our community forward. How many new businesses get started in our community each year, and how does that compare to other similar areas? How do we distinguish between small business and entrepreneurs? And what do we do to support and encourage each other? Are there any new and emerging areas in business where we have some distinct competitive advantages? I think of hemp right off the bat. Are we using all of our resources wisely and efficiently? Are there programs or positions that we should end and reallocate funds to a higher priority area? Have we adequately defined the roles of all the agencies that have a direct role in developing our community? As you can tell, economic development is on my mind. We all recognize the fact that our people are ultimately our product. Their combined skills, abilities, and talents will determine our success. What mechanisms do we have in place to influence, support, and improve available educational and personal development opportunities? How are we encouraging people to take advantage of those opportunities? Are we active enough in the state and national levels in attempting to influence and change the environment in which we carry out our business? Again, you got to stay connected. You got to build relationships. Is our thinking or our activities influenced by artificial political boundaries? Or do we act as if we truly recognize the blindness of money to the lines that separate cities, counties, and states? Is the organization that leads our economic development program properly staffed and focused and structured? Because you'll never reach your destination if you stop to throw stones at every dog that barks. I thank you very much for allowing me to serve. It's probably my last talk. It's been an honor. I love this community, and I know you do too. So let's all make it a community. Let's all come together as best we possibly can and have a diversity of opinion and get along with that diversity. So thank you, God bless, and let's go keep, what is it?
Owensboro greater.
Let's make Owensboro greater. Thank you.
Mayor Watson, thank you. Judge Mattingly, thank you. Super quick announcements, 2 of them. Reminder, the Chamber Celebration, Friday, January 24th. That is presented by Owensboro Health. Tickets are $50 per attendee. Those tickets are available by calling the Chamber office. Leadership Owensboro, you are meeting right over here to my right. You'll be meeting with the mayor, of course, and our judge executive. Happy 2020, and we'll see you in February. Thank you all so much.